Welcome, sophomores. Thank you for tuning in to watch your Class of 2023 video. First, I just want to do a quick introduction to make sure you are all aware who your counselor is for this school year. It's based off your last name. Please take a second and just make sure you know who your counselor is. Next thing I want to do is point out the counseling website. There's a direct link to the counseling website on the very front of the Westwood homepage, but more than that, I want to show you what's available there. So many students just think it's a normal, typical website, but honestly, there are so many things that this should be probably a bookmark site for you. Everything from course selection, mental health resources, this program. There's career assessments and explorations you can do. Eventually, as you progress at Westwood, you're going to be using the applying to college, the college visits, SAT and ACT testing, scholarships, financial aid. This is going to be one of your most important resource tools out there that you can have. So please, please, please visit it, make yourself familiar with it, bookmark it, and share it with your parents. Next, I just want to refresh your memory on the rank and GPA. This is something we covered last year at your freshman one-on-ones and gave you some handouts on it, but I just want to make sure in case you've forgotten or you have any further questions, all of that is going to be linked in here for you. So if you click on the 5.0 GPA handout, it's going to tell you exactly how to fill out your and calculate your GPA. Also, if you're like, well, that's still a little confusing, if you click on the sample transcript, it's going to give you a transcript from Westwood, and it's going to show you how it was all calculated so you can easily do the same thing with yours that you can access on Home Access. Next is endorsement versus academy. Again, you probably have already heard this, but with everything going on, a refresher is never a bad thing. So the difference between an academy and endorsement. An academy. This is a sequence of electives that you have to take, and if you finish the sequence, you get a colored stole to wear at graduation. So a little bit of bling. That's really it. An endorsement is what you have to graduate. There are multiple different options. There's multidisciplinary, business and industry, public service, STEM, arts and humanities. So students can receive an endorsement if they complete an academy. So the academy can be an endorsement, or it can also be academic based. So if you took 5 science classes, you took 5 math classes, or you took your 4 core classes every year, that can count as an endorsement. So the endorsement has a lot more options. There are 2 different links provided that will give you the exact specifics that you can peruse and go through. These are all listed on our website as well. But again, academy, think colored stole, some bling. Endorsement, you need it to graduate. And then the other thing is, some students ask, do I just need 1 endorsement or should I try to get as many as possible? Here's the thing, you only have to have 1 to graduate. Colleges are not looking, do you have more than 1? They purely just want to know you had 1 so you could graduate in the state of Texas. So don't be intimidated or feel like you have to get them all. It's completely fine, you need 1 endorsement. For STAAR testing, every student before they graduate high school must take the Algebra 1, English 1, English 2, Biology, and U.S. History STAAR test and pass. Some of you might have started taking these in middle school because a lot of people take Algebra 1 in the 8th grade or 7th grade, and you might already have that done and over with. So you won't have to take that one over again in high school. Also, last year, as a freshman, you might have been in some of these classes like Biology, English 1, or Algebra 1, and COVID hit. The state of Texas waived those tests. So if you earned the full credit, so if you passed the class for the whole entire year and got the credit, last year, the 2019-2020 year, you are waived from taking those tests. So theoretically, as a freshman, if you had the Algebra, English, and Biology waived, that means all you'll have left is English 2 and U.S. History. So you would only end up having to take two STAAR tests. So y'all's sophomore class is in a unique spot. The next thing I want to kind of get talking about is course selection for next year. I know it's still the fall, of this year, but it's never too early to start thinking and re-examining how this year has gone and maybe what should I adjust for next year. So just a quick reminder, remember everybody needs to have 4 English, 4 math, 4 social studies, 4 science. So you take those every year. Everybody needs to have 2 foreign languages, a year of fine art, a year of PE, or a PE waiver, and 7 electives. And remember, those 7 electives can come from some of these other categories. So for example, if you take more than 1 year of a fine art, the second year counts towards your electives. If you're on a sports team, let's say you're in football, and the second year of football, because the first one counted as PE, the second one would count towards your elective. So if you go over and above and beyond any of these categories, all the extras go into the elective pool. So first, let's look at English. So I want you to look at where you're at this year as a 10th grader. You've got English 2 or Advanced English 2. Going into 11th grade, you're either going to be choosing English 3, AP English 3, or IB English 3 if you're going on the IB route, or you might want to think about doing the dual credit English 3, which is taught here at Westwood by Westwood teachers, but it's an ACC community college class. Miss Kirk, our ACC counselor, is going to be the person you want to talk to. If you go to the Westwood Counseling website, there is a full tab on ACC where she puts all of her stuff there. But you have to meet deadlines and meet some requirements in order to take the dual credit option. Math. This is going to be a great tool to figure out where are you sitting as a 10th grader. And then you'll look at the 10th grade column, find the class you're on, and move over to the 11th grade column. And then that's where you're going to select your options from. If you're thinking you're going to be in the IB pathway next year, you're going to use this chart. You would look where you're at in 10th grade and move yourself over to 11th grade to see what pathway you're going to take. Social studies. These are the most common pathways. Most 10th graders are sitting in a form of world history, so either world history or WAP. Based off that, you would then sign up for your 11th grade class. I know some students might think, well, I might want to take U.S. history over the summer at ACC. That's fine, but you still have to sign up for a class here at Westwood because we all know the best way plans sometimes just don't happen. So you might have the intentions to take U.S. history over the summer, but if it doesn't happen, you still have to take U.S. history with us next year. So we want to know if you're going to take that class here, even as it's a backup for your ACC summer plans, we need to know, would you want to be an on-level or AP? If you're in the IB program, you will see you have multiple options to choose from for your 11th grade year. Science. So everybody this year should be sitting in IPC, chemistry, or advanced chemistry. Based off what you're taking in 10th grade is what you're going to take in the 11th grade. So there is some flexibility and there is some options for choosing. I will say the typical path would be the physics, some form of physics, but we also have a lot of students who are maybe in advanced chemistry and really excelled and love it and want to continue to AP Chem. You might want to take AP Chemistry in 11th grade just because it'll be fresh right after advanced chem and maybe push physics till senior year. So there's lots of choices. Next is your foreign language. So again, you have to take 2 years of the same language. Some people have earned credit in middle school by taking a level 1A and B, and they earned a year of credit that way. Again, 2 years of the same language. Students always ask, well, should I take more than 2? Should I take a year 3 or should I take year 4? And there are a lot of benefits. Some colleges require 3 years of the same language. So if you're not sure where you want to go, sometimes it's a safe bet just to go ahead and continue and take a 3rd year. That way you don't shut a door you didn't know need to be opened. It's always safe, especially if you enjoy the language. Level 4. If you go through level 4 AP and pass that AP test, there's a good chance you're going to earn your college foreign language credit and not have to take foreign language in college again. So it could have a nice bonus later on because high school is free, college is not free. Next are going to be your fine arts and PE. So everybody has to take 1 year of fine arts, and Westwood offers all the things on the left. So lots of options to choose from. And for PE, all the options on the right side can count for your P credit. You will notice band and dance have asterisks by them. Band, as long as you complete 2 full years, you'll get your fine art and your PE credit plus 2 other electives. Dance is a good bang for your buck. Dance, if you take 1 year of dance, you earn 2 credits for that one class. So you'll earn a full fine art and a full PE. So one class can get you both requirements done. Academy electives. So we offer lots and lots of academy options for you. On the next couple slides, I've gone over by 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade, what would be the option you should take. So you're going to want to look in your pathway, so your elective pathway, what the class for 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade would be, and just continue following over on your slide to find your class for the next year. I always want to point out that if you go to the counseling website on the virtual choice sheet, you can get class descriptions for all of these that were written by the teacher. So that's what's going to be so helpful when deciding which classes you want to go to. So there were lots of options. The good thing about this video, you can just pause it if you need more time to look at any of them. Again, like I pointed out here before, I just said, and we'll go ahead and go there to show you what it's like. This is going to be your virtual course selection. If you click on the 9th through 11th grade choice sheet, you will see all of your courses, which you would typically have on a paper choice sheet, are here listed. And if you hover over a class, you will see if you click course description, you can find out a short description of the class, what the grading structure looks like, the description of the instructional styles, average homework. So these are all going to be so important for you. So I definitely would recommend looking at this. A key thing I want to say is make sure your schedule is balanced. This is my general rule of thumb. I want you to think of the 4 hardest classes you're going to sign up for next year. Okay, you have your 4 in mind? Now I want you to picture them all on Orange Day. Could you survive if you had your 4 hardest classes back to back, all on Orange Day? If the answer is no, then that means you need to do something about your schedule and make it more balanced. Because here's the thing, we can't guarantee all 4 of your hardest classes are going to be on one day. So you need to make a smart, balanced decision of what you can honestly handle, not what your neighbor can handle, not what your best friend can handle, not what the kid next door can handle. You need to pick the best schedule for you. So again, general rule of thumb, think of your 4 hardest classes. Picture them all on one day. Is it too much or can you handle it? The next thing I want to move on is to resume building. So we've talked now about course selection and the academics, but we really need to start focusing on college or life after Westwood. And really at this point, what you can be doing to get ahead, because we can't really start filling out applications yet. You're only a sophomore, but some things you can do to start getting ahead and making sure you're not going to be behind later on is building your resume. So the only things that can go on your college resume are things that you have done in high school. So I know a lot of y'all did a lot of amazing things in middle school. You can't put that here. So what I would want you to do is click on this resume sample. If you look at it like this, it looks kind of funky. So what you have to do is download it. This is what's going to ensure the proper formatting. So let's wait for it to open because I want to show you how this works. This is going to be a sample resume that you can go ahead when you get here, save it. Click File, go to Save As, and save it as your resume. You'll literally just follow this template. Type over with your name, type over your address, put in your information. Again, you might not have this yet because this is going to be based off for senior year. Go ahead and put in your 9th grade classes, put in your 10th grade, and then every year you'll add to this. So the resume is broken down into different sections. Please don't panic if you don't have something under a category. That's what the next 3 years of high school are for. You're going to start to fill it up. So the first section is extracurricular activities. These can be Westwood related or non-Westwood related. So if you're in some different activities outside of school, put them on here. I made this up, so my descriptions are kind of short. Please type longer, put in the full description. If you've taken on any leadership over your 4 years of high school, you're going to want to include that. Any awards or honors. Again, these can be Westwood awards and honors, or they can be outside activity awards or honors. You're going to want to put that here. What do you do in your summers? Colleges want to know you're up and doing things. You're not just watching Netflix. Not that there's anything wrong with watching Netflix, but they want to know you're doing more. So go ahead and put whatever you've done in your summers. Volunteer work. So community service. What are you doing to give back to your community? A lot of colleges want to see this. Work experience. This can be a real job where you get a real paycheck, or it can be your pet sitting, your babysitting. So maybe you're not getting a real paycheck, but you're just getting paid in cash. That's fine. A job signals to colleges that you're dependable, that people can trust you, you're loyal. Those are going to be good things to show a college. Down here at the bottom, you'll see some good options for a club joining, also for some volunteer websites. So if you need to kind of fill up some of those activities on this over the next 3 years, you've got some great links on how to get there. Here's the next thing. A lot of you might be thinking, I don't know what I want to do after high school. I don't know what I want to study. I don't know. And that's completely fine. You're in 10th grade. You've got multiple more years to decide. So please do not panic. And here's the other reality. So many kids go to college thinking they want to do something. So if you have a friend who's like, this is what I'm going to study, and you're like, I'm not there yet. Well, there's a good chance your friend might change their mind once they get to college. Most college students change their major. But here's the thing, that costs money because you might take classes you don't need. So we want to make sure when you're applying to college or you're deciding your future that you have the most information possible. If you click on the career assessment and exploration link, it'll take you to the counseling website. There's a whole page determined to career assessments. We've got some career assessments that are based off interest. So it'll give you like a little test where you're going to answer questions, and it's going to say, based off your interest, this might be a good major or a good job for you. Then it's going to do it by personality. There's personality-based tests where, again, it's going to give you a little quiz where you're going to answer all these questions. And then based off your personality, it's going to recommend this might be the best job or major for you. It's going to do it on values. You can do the value-based one, and again, it's going to give you a quiz. And then it's going to say, based off your personal values, it seems like this job or this major would be good for you. And then last, there's a section on ability and skill. So this is going to ask you, things you're good at, things you enjoy. And then based off of that quiz, it's going to say these are jobs or majors that might be good for you. I always tell a student, take some from all 4 of these and then see what's the common thread. The interest base might say you really should be a soccer player, but you're probably not the pro level. But it might also say you're really interested in kinesiology, so maybe being a coach someday or being a physical therapist. And then you see that on the other ones, that's also a common link. So that's why I say don't just take one. Take one from all 4 areas and find the common pieces, and then research those degrees, those jobs, to see if it really does seem like a good fit for you. Take some time here. Don't try to rush through. This is what you're supposed to be doing in 10th grade. This is when you start researching and figuring this out. And just some other final reminders that are good for everybody is don't procrastinate, especially being virtual. We need to stay on top of our business. So whether you're keeping in a paper agenda, you're keeping your Google Calendar, setting reminders, keeping lists, stay on top of it. Make sure you're checking your grades and hack daily. You don't want missing assignments to get out of hand, or maybe you turn something in and your teacher just missed it. We want to make sure you're not letting it go for days or weeks unnoticed. Next thing is check your student email multiple times every day. School is your job right now. And I can promise you, if you ask your parents or older siblings, if you have a job, you have to check your email nonstop. Well, school is your job, and you need to be checking it nonstop to make sure you're not missing out on anything important. The last thing is just take advantage of what your teachers can offer you. Ask for help if you need it. If they're giving tutorials during asynchronous, go to your tutorials. Do homework the day it's assigned. That way you'll never get behind. Just really take full advantage, stay on top of your things, and get organized. And again, we hope your rest of your senior year goes wonderfully. Thanks for watching.